What can you tell us about this report that there will be an offer for a broader stimulus package made this afternoon?
It's certainly good news, David. We had a package initially at $1 trillion, and we went up to 1.6. And now the president has given Secretary Mnuchin authorization to go up a bit more to 1.8. We had felt we already had moved halfway, and we were hoping our counterparts would as well. That's still obviously the hope. There are a lot of good things that have been, we think, bipartisan. Airline relief of roughly $25 billion. There was upwards of $105 billion for schools and vaccines and PPE. That was a bit more than what Democrats had wanted. We certainly want to give more money to small businesses. The PPP, the Payroll Protection Plan, David, we think has been very successful. Obviously, direct income assistance through checks to people that certainly could still use it. Those were all things that had been in the package, and looks like there's been now more that's been added. So we'll see what happens. The one thing I just want to add is that from an economic perspective, as we had, I think, spoken a month or so ago, we were been very keen on this notion of a V-shaped recovery. And to me, that's still very much in place. And as you probably are aware, there are some forecasters that are looking for just extraordinary gains in GDP in the third quarter. Atlanta Fed, for example, is up at 35%. So we're in this self-feeding, self-sustaining recovery. If the Democrats can meet us midway, then that's just going to be an insurance policy to assure us that the economy will perform even better this quarter and beyond.
So you're an economist. You're not a politician. You're not responsible for the legislative side of the House. But is there a challenge in getting the Senate Republicans to go along with an expanded offer? They didn't like the 1.6 very much, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, David, as far as who liked what and how much. I do know just from following it on the private side, when we used to always have to guess what was going to happen with the debt ceiling and negotiations. These things have a way of sometimes confounding the public. What I can tell you is that I know we're negotiating in good faith, and Secretary Mnuchin is working hard, and the president wants a deal. We're very proud of the accomplishments we've made in getting the economy back as fast as it's come back. We've created we've rehired 11.4 million jobs. That's more than half of the job losses that we experienced in the pandemic contraction. Right. We did that in about 5 months. That's very fast. The prior administration took them about 30 months to accomplish the same thing. So we like more stimulus. People could use the help in certain areas, no question, but we'll see where it goes. And I'm hopeful maybe we get something. If not, what I can tell you is the economy is still chugging along and doing well. That's the good news regardless of what happens.
So, Joe, if you can, connect up those two things, because as you say, jobs have started to come back. You've made more than half of the losses up. You still have 11 million people unemployed. And as important, the slope of the curve seems to be drifting off now. We're adding jobs every month, but it's a little less every month. And jobless claims are down, but they're still over 800,000 a week now. Without the stimulus, can you really get back to where you need to go, for example, with jobs in any time soon?
Yes, I mean, look, the street has, and the Fed, by the way, has done an excellent job. So I don't want to be critical of the Fed, but if we use a street forecast and Fed forecast, the unemployment rate's a lot lower than where it's supposed to be. So I think when people are talking about the slowdown, you have to put it into context of the significant progress we've made already. You're not going to generate 5, 6, 7 million jobs a month as we did early on. It's naturally going to slow a bit. But the reason, David, why I expect there to be continued acceleration and why the unemployment rate is going to go lower is if you look at things like the ISM surveys, manufacturing and services, they're back above their pre-coronavirus readings. They're actually at about 2-year highs. If you look at the housing construction and home sales, those are back above their previous high readings. We've seen capital goods orders, manufacturing production plans, trucking surveys. All of the very deep cyclical areas of the economy have shown a remarkable recovery. Right. We're seeing hours lengthen. Productivity is going up. Equity analysts have basically mirrored the recovery in GDP. So it would be natural, David, especially with an inventory cycle coming, to reaccelerate the hiring. And yesterday, the continuing claims number falling a million was very important. Maybe didn't get enough press. That tells me the rate is going to go down again next month.
Fair point. I probably should have said that. The continuing claims did come down, no question about it.